YouTube? What's going on? Optimus Prime 69 signing on. First video right here. This is my son's car, and it's a 1988 Honda Accord LXI hatchback. Classic. I hear it's a pretty rare car. I'm not really sure. I'm not a Honda guy. Never really cared much for Hondas, but I am halfway mechanical. So the other day he had a problem with it. It was the battery was dying on him. The lights were getting dim. He wasn't sure what it was, so obviously it was the alternator. Anybody with half mechanical skills could tell you that without even testing it. He was driving it and the lights were getting dim and stuff like that. So but I was reading online that these were a nightmare to put the alternator in. So I was hearing, take the axle out and, take the wheel off and do all this other crap. So I said, well, let me see what this involves. So jacked it up the other day, took the wheel off it, and looked under the hood. And as you can see, this one's fuel injected. So on this particular car, the alternator is pretty easy to get to. If your car's fuel injected, you're not going to have a hard time taking the alternator out, which is, I don't know if you could see it or not, but it's right down there. There's probably some glare on the screen. I can't see it that good. Using my phone, I don't have a video camera yet. But the alternator is right there. And after you take, what I did was, and now this is a fuel injecting car. If your car's carbureted, you're probably going to have some issues. But you can see this car's fuel injected. So what I did was, I jacked it up right there. Jack it up right on the pinch weld of the body. You jack it up right there. Don't jack it up on the rocker panel right there, because you're going to crush it. Don't be a moron. Okay? Jack it up on the pinch weld. Anyone can tell you that. Jack it up, obviously. Took the wheel off. Take the wheel off. And then once you take the wheel off, you can see the alternators in behind the tire. Can't see it. Alright, so obviously once you get the wheel off, the alternators, you're going to be able to see the alternator. The alternator is going to be down here below the inner fender. You'll be able to get to the lower bolt. No big deal. Now, like with anything, safety first. If you're going to crawl underneath this car, please be smart. Don't be stupid. Get a jack stand, cinder block, big old block of wood, anything you got. Anytime you go into a car, be safe. The car ain't worth dying for. Don't let the car fall on top of you, because you can't bench press the car. You can't, and it's gonna crush you. So be smart, be safe. Put something under the suspension, under the frame. Don't get crushed. Anyway, back to the alternator. Once you get the tire off, you take the bottom bolt, loosen up the bottom bolt, which you can't see, because like I said, I did all this work yesterday with no help, because my son was asleep on the couch because he's lazy. Anyway, you take the bottom bolt off, which is a 14 millimeter, and then you reach in here, you come back up top, take this 12 millimeter bolt off right there. You can't see it, but I'm trying to show it to you. There's a 12 millimeter bolt. You loosen it up, and then you loosen up this tensioner, which is a manual tensioner, which is nice. So if you don't want to pry on it with a pry bar, you won't have to. You just tighten that bolt and then start cranking on that one to put tension back on the belt. But you want to take it off, so you're going to loosen it. So once you loosen it, take the belt off, the alternator is going to drop back. And it's going to drop back up against part of the firewall, and I believe that's a fuel line down there, but it's going to give you plenty of room. Plenty of room. Remember, you've already taken this air box out with these two bolts right here. These two 10mm bolts. It just slides on over here. And if your car is fuel injected, like this one, it's going to be easy. You're not going to have to take the axle out. You don't have to stress about it. You can do it in your driveway, your garage, wherever you're going to do it. Hell, you could do it in the parking lot at the Pet Boys if you wanted. I wouldn't do that, but now, like I said, carbureted cars, I don't know about. This car doesn't have the carburation, so if your car's carbureted, don't even watch this video. But once you take the air box out, you're going to have plenty of room to get that alternator out. And once you get the alternator out, you know it's plug and play. 10mm bolt on the one wire, 10mm bolt down in there, and a 4-pin plug. Got to have 4 pins. Apparently there's a couple different alternators, but once you give them your body style, they'll tell you which one alternator you need. This one happens to be the 4-pin. Real simple. So put your new alternator on. Put your new alternator back on. Hook up your wires, 10mm and your 4-pin plug. You know, be safe. Put the tension back on the belt. Start it up. Put your wheel back on. Take all your safety stuff out from underneath. Like I said before, be safe. Don't get crushed by your car. You can't bench press your car, so don't get stuck under it. And then once you get the alternator on, your charging light should go off. I don't have his keys, but your charging light is going to be on your dash. And it's going to be a little battery symbol right in the center there. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. If that light's on and you're driving, I mean, your headlights are going dim and nothing's working, you're not going to go much further because you have a problem. That's what his car was doing. So we just popped the alternator on it. But we lucked out. Fuel injected car, not a problem. Like I said, carbureted car, that's on you, man. There's probably a video on here about it, about a carbureted car. But I didn't see a fuel injected video. So we made our first video about this. That's pretty much it, man. Good luck. Hope this helps some people out who are worried about it. If you got one of these cars and you're afraid to do the alternator because you heard you got to take the axle out, not true. Not true. Just take your air box off. Right there. Take that off. 2 bolts. Easy. Alright, guys. Optimus Prime 69. Subscribe to the channel. Like it if you want. I'm going to try to get some more video. I got a Hyundai Tiburon I'm putting the head on right now. That's my daughter's car. We're going to try to fix it next. So, alright, YouTube. Subscribe if you want. Like I said, hit the like button. And we'll be safe out there.
Autobots, transform!